Hey, this is Samar Newsome, and this is the Musician Shed Podcast. I'm here with another episode, and I'm so glad I got one of my brothers. I done met this guy 30 years ago. Yeah. At least 30 years ago we met in Princeton, in college in Princeton, at Westminster Choir College. And, you know, what we were doing then, you know, was some fun stuff back then, but like we've both gone on and done amazing things. And today I get to share one of my friends, Mr. James Biscuit Rouse. James, what's good, brother?
All is well. All is well. All is well.
So we're coming. We just had a gig together, so you know it was pretty convenient to be here. But I appreciate you being here.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Tell the people who you are. I mean, I know I've seen you on multiple different places on the stage because you know you do a little bit of everything. When I met you, you were singing. We were singing together, but I know you as a prolific drummer, and you were a drummer back then too. So tell the people what you do, what you've done, and where you've been.
So, as he said, my name is James Biscuit Rouse, originally from Philadelphia, residing in North Jersey now. I sing, play drums, produce, music direct, tell jokes at people. That's always been it. Yeah. You know, yeah, music.
Yeah. I mean, listen, so one of the things, of course, we talk about the musician shed, we talk about shedding. And these days, there's a lot of different ways people shed. Like people see their favorite musicians, you know, playing everywhere. They could basically access them a lot. It's crazy. I was thinking about something earlier about, and I talk about things like the pocket and just things like that. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But let's first talk about like how did you get your start in music, period? What inspired you? What got you into it?
Church.
Okay.
You know, PK kid, you know, always in the musician section from that I can remember, my parents would be like, oh, he's in the musician section. I'd be gone. All my cousins is doing normal kid stuff. I'm with the older musicians, you know.
Right.
So that and seeing the Winans and Vanessa Bell Armstrong as my first concert as a kid.
Wow.
And I was like, I want to do that.
Wow.
I want to do that. I want to do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was in Philly?
In Philly.
Okay.
They played at Drexel University.
Okay. Dope.
So
now Philly, I tell people Philly's different. I mean, I got to play for Jill Scott multiple times in Philly, and it's just such a legit music scene. You know what I mean? Like, and that was my first encounters with being there. You know, I was a young musician, got to play on some open mics with her. And again, I got to see where her skills was, and like and she was just fun. She was just having fun. It wasn't even like a set. It was like, just play and I'm gonna just freestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that was a vibe. And apparently this was a vibe because I went to several things like this, and it was like just kind of upscale people there. It was just like a chill joint. One was like an art gallery. One was in somebody's house. You know, like the nice mansion house, and they had tents outside and all this kind of stuff. So I mean, Philly. And then when I worked for Dr. Dumpson in Philly, and I could hear an organist practicing jazz organ up the street. You know what I'm saying? Like it just lives music there. Like what was that environment like, just being surrounded by music, basically?
For me, it was just natural because it was always there.
Yeah.
And
it didn't seem nothing special because
you can almost take it for granted, and it's just like you really don't see that as much unless it's like guys and females that are together in church, or churches that are combined together, or are families.
Got you.
That play.
Yeah.
Every now and then you might see like people in a neighborhood that play together, but for the most part, like that conclusively close.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Okay.
You know? But it was for me. I would say it was definitely the foundation.
Okay, good. That's good. That's good. Good word for that. I mean, you look at successful bands like the Roots out of Philly, and I recall one thing. One of my music directors, when I was in a band, basically he was paying attention to stuff that they were doing. He was like, "Yo, they just get together and just chill one day a week, no music, just getting to vibe with each other, just hanging out with each other, like being good." Basically friends. And, so
I mean, like if you're gonna be in a band together, you might as well like the person.
Right.
I mean, like I've been in situations where I didn't like 2 or 3 people, but we would get a check.
Right. So you just.
But it makes a difference.
Absolutely.
If everybody likes each other, everybody can joke together. It's not saying that we're not gonna have disagreements, but we have a general respect.
Yeah.
And friendship. It makes a whole world of difference. It makes the music sound better. It makes it feel what comes across that much easier.
No, for sure. Sure. What was a big challenge you remember in one of the bands or gigs or something that you played on that kind of like stood out to you? Like, oh, this is a crazy challenge right here. That almost probably it could have not even got resolved.
It's almost every gig.
Every gig has a challenge.
It's like every gig has a challenge. And it's just trying to do your best.
So no big challenges that ever stood out. Like,
I almost expect the challenge to happen.
Okay.
Because it's like, if you get comfortable.
Yeah. That's when something probably going to happen.
Yeah. So walking confident, but just don't get comfortable and don't get lax.
Is there any gigs you just like, I wanted to walk off this gig? And don't say every gig.
I'm not going to say it. Yeah. But it's part of the game.
Yeah. What was like your favorite gig you ever played on?
Living Color, filling in on Living Color.
Okay.
Screaming Headless Torsos, being one of the drummers as a legacy.
Nice.
And Screaming Headless Torsos. Anytime I would play with Ray Chu.
Okay, yeah.
And that in any of his configurations, definitely Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
It was always a challenge, but for me, I'm weird. I like the challenge.
Yeah, you into the challenge.
It pulls something out of me. It's like, okay, even if I have to revisit a couple times to figure it out, but it's always something that's going to make me better. If it's going to make me better, I'm for it.
It's sharpening you.
Yeah.
But you got to resolve it first.
You have to resolve it.
Yeah.
And the bad part is coming on other gigs where you don't have that push or challenge and the artist is not in the trenches with you.
Right.
And it's like, I take you serious?
No, I hear you.
You say you want X, Y, Z, but you're not doing what needs to lead up to X, Y, Z.
Wow.
That
could be frustrating.
Yeah.
So how was your now Lauryn Hill, one of the biggest artists in the world? Fugees, Miseducation. So over probably 20 something, 30 maybe millions now.
Yeah.
What was that experience like working with a legend like that?
She kept me on my toes.
Okay.
All the time.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the experience. We still keep in contact.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it definitely kept
Miss
me
Hill, we should say.
I call her boss lady.
Okay.
She wouldn't let nobody else call her. I could get away with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she always kept me on my toes, and she's very musical.
Yeah.
She has some wild ideas, and you just got to figure out how to piece it together.
Yeah, how to make it work.
And you're like, how did you hear this sample over this sample and a big masterpiece? Like, okay.
Now, a friend of mine was very close with her growing up, and he told me that she basically lived in the Stevie, Donny Hathaway world, like lived in it, like And Roberta, of course, was a big influence on her, and just really like
and Bob.
Oh yeah. So she was really into that vibe, and it came out. I think she represent. First of all, she was an incredible rapper and singer and actress.
Yes.
She pretty much had probably still has, but
yeah, she got it.
I mean, just seeing it like I would love to see it again. But I mean, she don't got nothing to prove to nobody. That's what once you've done it, you've done it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to prove nothing. But of course, she was young getting those things. So of course, you there's always an expectation that you'll see more of it. But whether we do or not, it doesn't matter. That experience was what it was supposed to be. And what was a good lesson you learned from that? You said stand on your toes, but you also said some places don't even need you to have that.
It made me appreciate those long, crazy hour rehearsals. And again, I like that stuff because it builds camaraderie with the band. Yeah. And we're working together to make a picture and tell a story. She's one of the artists that I appreciate, that the show was about a storyline. Right. How we connected the dots between the songs, transitions. Everything was a storyline. Right. It could be the same songs, but the story might have changed. Gotcha. The picture of the story might have changed, but it was always a storyline, the through line that came through there.
That made it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
And everything was very musical. Yeah. Different genres. She definitely opened my mind and my ears to hear things differently. Okay. Yeah. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, that's important. I mean, listen, we if you get an opportunity to work with a master, I mean, I've worked with a few, so I understand some things from working with them, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? They come with good and bad. Yeah. But in doing so, you can get lessons if you're paying attention.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like just to
like the concert tonight. Yeah. There were little notes. I was like, oh, that. Yeah. You can critique it, and as a musical director, also you can notice what you need to notice and say, and if it were you would have conducted it this way and stuff like that. But you take what you can from masters when you get in their presence, because everybody's not fortunate to be around masters. Right. So, who are some like. Who is somebody you wish you got to work with? Like you never got to work with, but you wish you did? That's alive?
It could be alive or dead. Because, I mean, if they pass, you probably won't get to work.
Only in glory. Hey. Alive? I would like to work with Stevie again. That was one time.
In what, singing or playing?
Playing.
Okay, you want to play with them?
Yeah. That was one of the Rachel adventures.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I would say Teddy Riley. Anita Baker. Yeah. That was one time with Now.
Although they're trying to give her a bad reputation out here.
Man, I could care less, man. I'm about the music.
Yeah, true.
And I'm like this. If you're about your business and you're about the music, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna hate, because you especially if you know what you want. Right. And working with artists that know what they want, not guessing, skip to my loo.
Yeah. I was thinking this plus that, but then doing this. And
right.
You'd be like,
and are there conscious about what it is. Yeah. Screw y'all. I'll take that. I'll take that.
You take somebody being intentional and specific about what they want. Yeah.
Intentional conviction to the parts.
Yeah.
Definitely Fred Hammond. I would love that.
Yeah, Fred. That was a great experience.
If he was alive, I wish I could have played with George Duke. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of people. Especially trying to think off the top of my head. I'm like, so many people.
So one of the things we try to do is try to give like some good words of advice and just like to the younger generations and even to older generations, just like people who are still working or frustrated, they always hear these.
I'm frustrated now.
We are. Right? You always hear these descriptions of musicians as starving artists, and there's a lot of people who start off starving. Mm-hmm. Some people, they just certain aspects of the business have certain intricacies to getting in, but I find as a musician, there's several ways where you can express. There's several ways where you can actually be effective. What have been some of your most lucrative avenues as a musician? Because, we all gig, but some of them are better than others.
Corporate bands. Corporate bands have saved my behind many times.
Yeah.
When I haven't been out on the road.
Yeah,
I think this has been the longest stint I haven't been out
for like long periods
for at least 6 months on the road.
Right.
Little stuff here and there, like little weekends here, maybe 2 weeks. But this is the longest I've been home.
Wow.
My wife was like, "Get out the house. When you get out the house, when you going back on tour?" I'm like,
so what was the longest you were out at one time?
A whole year.
Okay, nice. And what was that? What was the challenges of being out for a year in terms of like family, work at home, all that kind of stuff?
Well, work. My check was coming every week, so my wife didn't care. She's like, just pay the bills.
Keep that check.
Yeah, let's pay the bills. Exactly. We stay connected.
Yeah.
And that's very important if you marry.
And your wife is a musician too,
my wife is a musician as well, so she understands.
Yeah.
But she's still a woman, so
yeah. You still a man.
I was still a man. Hallelujah. Glory. But staying connected, staying connected to family, because anything can happen on the road.
Absolutely.
Mentally, physically, whatever. Staying connected to a foundation.
Yeah.
Of who you are, not getting. It's easy to get lost in the hype of, I'm playing with such and such, and let them give you a pink slip, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. And it happens all the time.
Yeah. And it could be for the simplest thing, management changes.
Yeah.
And they want to save money.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the artist, nothing. But it's a narrative that whoever is in charge of making that call,
like, I'm gonna bring my people in for you.
Yeah.
And
I got something else. I got another idea.
Yeah,
just because you stepped on their toe or something.
Yeah, been there, and it's like, okay, pick your feelings up. Okay, we're grown. We gotta, and it doesn't feel good, but in hindsight, it's part of the process.
Right.
You're not always gonna be up on top.
No, for sure. One of the things we talk about is pivoting, and that's one of those situations where you got to pivot. You know what I'm saying? You on the road, you working, you're in a situation, and everything's good. You got the relationship you need to get you there. You have the skills to do the job, and then a personality thing or just something that has nothing to do with your ability to do it or your job that you're doing changes that. What was a pivot like for you? And because
it wasn't easy. I'll be honest. It wasn't easy because I got comfortable.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You get comfortable, and
it's hard not to though.
And yet my brain is trained to. Got to do this every day. This is what I got to do every day. And it's like when I don't have that, it's like, what do I do with myself?
Yeah.
And then the frustration. Then you get something else. And then everybody else doesn't want to move the certain way to get to the end goal.
Got you.
But you still do what you got to do.
Yeah. But there's a frustration when you work at one level and the next place is not there.
It's not that level. You got to.
Yeah. I mean, like now your goal is to try to bridge the gap, but sometimes this is their level.
If they don't want to go.
Oh, yeah, no, this is the level.
Right.
Calm down.
Right. But I want that. But
I would like that, but.
I'm really not willing to put in the work.
I don't want to do the things that get me there. No, that's a fact. And I think that's a natural frustration because you could see how to get there. You've seen it. You've been there.
Oh, I got you one better. When you leave, they start implementing what you said to do.
Oh, of course.
You be like,
right. We couldn't do that when I was there. Nah, it's crazy.
Crazy. It's par for the course, and it also lets you know that, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying was what was needed to work.
Right. But for whatever reason, over time, different things happen. Your voice doesn't hit as hard. You was the new person at one point, and now you're not. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so it's just natural course of life, unfortunately. But it doesn't really. You have to be sure on who you are. You have to be sure on the skills that you have and the talents you have and the work that you have. Because talent is great, but without the work ethic, it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't stay there.
I will say it also forced me to start writing more and pursue being an artist.
So that's part of
that's also part of, and I was just out with Living Color, and they was like, yeah, you need to be writing more. You need to focus on you being an artist. Yeah, still play with other people, but find the balance. But you need to definitely be the artist, because it's like everybody doesn't have it.
Exactly. Some people are just a sideman.
Yeah,
you're a drummer,
and that's fine.
And they're great at it.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But when you like you and I again, we met each other singing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you're an amazing singer. I've got to hear you on the high level, and so I know what you got. But then I saw you just drumming for years. I didn't see you singing, but I know you still can sing. But so it's one of those things where even for me, I had years where I just was like, I fell in love with playing so much, and I wanted to aspire in that. I was sing here and there, but I didn't take it seriously as when I had to pivot. When I had to pivot, it's like, you know what? God is like, okay, you've been wasting time. Not wasting time, but like,
but I want you to
haven't been doing this thing.
Yeah, there's other parts I want to show you.
Yeah.
And be able to bridge them both together.
And literally, I'll be honest, when I embarked on putting out my first record, that's when I had to pivot. It's almost like,
actually, that's when I lived above you.
Yeah.
In another apartment.
It's almost like that was when things shifted without me wanting them to shift. Because I'm like, I like this comfort that I have in this situation, great situation. But once you embark, like the thing about faith and the thing about action is that what we ask God for, this is what I'm finding. When we start acting on it, God is like, okay, I got to shift this thing, because if I don't, there's no way you could be successful over here.
Right.
Like, so comfortable.
I gotta knock these people out of the way. I gotta
take discomfort away.
Yep.
You gotta feel a little discomfort to really push you where you're going. And that's that. Listen, it took some time to really understand that.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating when you're already on a level and you're doing it on a high level, because we've been on high levels. And then it's like, we got to shift. But it's again, everybody starts at one in whatever thing they do.
Right.
It's always a step one. And so when you're embarking into being an artist, you got to start at step one.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to be taken from your comfort to really feel that step one, because you got to embrace that. Yeah. It's frustrating if you like on step 10 on this other thing, but it's like, no, here you're on step one.
And some people get that I'm going next door to it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, you got to fall down a couple steps to get to it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was at a retreat, and Jason Nelson was talking about his journey as an artist. And he was talking about basically how he started 20 years ago or before this day. And they were just getting nominations for Grammy and Stellar Awards and stuff like that. But it's like, we had #1 records all along the way, but we weren't getting acknowledged. But he said he decided to he called it taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Basically, we're going to take the long way. Even though it's going to take longer, it's going to have more, it's going to hit differently. And that's the truth. Like, you could have a #1 hit right now and people not know who you are. I talked to a music executive and she told me that. I was like, I'm number 28 on the chart. She was like, that's great. And I hope you go further. But these days, the way the radio charts are, you could be #1
and still don't
have no audience.
Right.
Like, people will know you on the radio.
Yeah.
You'll probably get some calls. You'll probably get some gigs. But you don't have a core audience base that you built. because those labels back in the day, they went through a process.
They curated the artists.
Yeah.
Now they don't do
They
nothing.
gave them time for you to sit with them. They went through a circuit. Like, you got to go on this radio station. You got to do the public publicity story. So, I mean, artists don't do that now. Artists will blow up on TikTok tomorrow and go viral.
And there's
nobody on there wanted, like, they don't check for you except for the time they saw you on there. They ain't looking for you.
No artist relationship to handle you.
It's a good start.
Teach you.
It's a great start, actually. But you gotta know, or have a team, or have a machine in place to really capitalize on that.
Yeah.
What's now to become a professional musician, which both of us kind of understand. What did you have to now start at some point in your shedding? Like, talk about shedding, talk about practice routines. What did you have to do earlier on to kind of get to that professional level?
Well, definitely hanging out and meeting people. Being friendly. Yeah. Not being a jerk. Not being arrogant. But again, people want people they can relate to. Yeah. That's one thing. Another thing is learning the music. Yeah. Know how to play the songs.
Yeah. The right groove.
It's not about you.
Drummer.
Yeah. It's not about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can never be about you. Yeah. Unless they say,
it's about you. Yeah.
Now it's your turn.
I say it all the time. If it's your moment, be ready for your moment. I just saw Glasper. This thing I've seen a couple of times. He's just like, yo, everybody can play. Everybody can play fast. And he's just like, what else you got? He said, you need to have your stuff in the holster, so when it's time to pull it out, you can. But you need to learn how to play together. And that's a lost art, man. I mean, I've been on plenty of gigs or be at concerts and see people, and you notice right away people who are not locked into playing together. Locked into listening to each other. When we sing, we listen to each other. Yeah,
tonight was a lot of listening.
Yeah, but bands don't always do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, critiquing the band, it ain't nothing crazy. But this band we saw tonight, one of the issues with them was you could tell they don't play together. Right. And that's a problem with just any band. Like, I mean, unless you're just so seasoned that to follow the direction of at least one person and listen. I saw Victor Wooten had a joint where he was doing a clinic. I think it was at NAMM or something. And he was just like, he told the drummer, like, go back, play again, but listen to everybody. Make sure you hear everybody. And when you listen, it's more fun. Music is more fun when everybody's playing together. I mean, that's what bands are. The best bands we know that we love growing up.
They're listening to each other.
They're locked into each other.
Right.
Like, they're not even they know each other's
you ain't gotta do a conversation. I would say the best thing is quartet music.
Quartet
because everybody's listening and you gotta sit on that groove for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And don't move.
It ain't going nowhere. Yeah, exactly.
Hymn books being thrown at you if you move. Exactly. Don't move.
Nah, you're right. But make it funk, feel good. Though, even funk.
Yeah, exactly.
Funk. Literally, when you really take apart a record, and I learned this when I was playing with like corporate and weddings and stuff like that. When we were doing the funk joint, the EWF sets and stuff like that, I was amazed at how little the piano was doing, because I'm like, yo, I'm used to playing these 10-finger chords all the time.
9 times out of 10,
it's like 3 fingers, bro. Yep. And but when you think scientifically, it's like, it's a band. It has horns,
right?
Which means
so
the horns have a
frequency.
Landscape. Exactly. They have a place. Guitar has a place.
Frequency.
Bass has a place. Drums have like, everybody has their place, and when you understand it, and when you put things in place like that, yo, it just everything. You can hear everything. That's the thing. I was telling one of my band members at my church. Now I'm like, listen, when you get it right, and you're playing off each other, you can hear everything.
It hits so much.
You don't have to play loud for me to hear you. You play in the right place, and I'll hear you. Everybody will hear you. And so I was like, listen, play off me. If I'm playing in these frequencies, I don't need the guitar to play those frequencies.
I need you here.
I need you to find some rhythm. Find a different space to occupy so that all of us can hear. It's just like mixing. When you're mixing records, the same thing. It's like we got to put stuff in places where it's going to be heard. So what's some advice you would give your self now, your teenage self when you were just starting? If you could do it again.
Stay in the practice room longer.
Stay another hour.
Yeah.
I would tell myself that too. I hated the practice room when I was in college.
Yeah, stay in the practice room longer, focus more on your reading.
Yeah.
And play the songs more.
Yeah.
Play the songs. My first touring gig was JT Taylor from Kool and the Gang.
Oh yeah.
And it was definitely about playing the funk. And playing those parts. You ain't got to do a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Except for the transition.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. Whenever you do something, make it intentional, but in the right places.
Yeah.
Everything else is what's on the record.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself.
Yeah.
If it's intentional together.
Yeah.
And if it's leading to as a build up to something.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I always talk about one of my favorites. Now, so you had a stint. I remember you were playing at the Village Underground for years.
Yeah.
One of my favorite drummers back even probably before you were playing there, was Nat Townsend.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
God.
Nat was like a master at not only playing the pocket, but playing a groove within the pocket.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, this guy has a whole nother drum machine thing going on inside his pocket. And again, he's such a freak of nature, but not super humble and super like simple. He wasn't going crazy. He wasn't trying to be heard over anybody. He was just finding a place. Like I said, like there's a place. Even as a keyboardist, like if I'm playing the pocket, I'm playing a pattern. There's a place in a simple transition from this chord to that chord that I might have a moment that I can take. And if I understand that and I take it, it's noticeable, but it's not stealing the moment from anything else. And that's the thing. It's like
back to painting a picture.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just putting a little color right here.
Yep.
Like Bob Ross. A little tree right here.
Yeah, take a little shade right there.
Exactly. And people don't understand that. I mean, like, I think when you're young, because I was young and I practiced the scale. Let me play the scale, and you're playing it over and over and over again. It's like, okay, what else you got? You know what I mean? And so
prime example, I did some tour runs with Michael Henderson, bass player.
Okay.
And my thing was, all right, tell me stories about you playing with Miles. And he was like, Miles would always tell him, don't bring that ish to the stage. Y'all rehearse. I don't want to hear that. What's in your heart? What are you feeling right now? What's the moment dictating to you? I'm like, but shouldn't I pull that? No.
Yeah. Shouldn't we do what we rehearsed?
Yeah. You already know what we rehearsed.
So now you can
let's bring about the moment.
It. Yeah.
What you did yesterday might not make sense for the gig today because the audience might be in a different headspace.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
fun. That reminds me of a story. I had my boy Dana Saray on here, producer, songwriter, like some of the amazing songwriting. But he was one of his famous things is he produced with Ty Tribbett. He was the organist and he produced. And he said when they were touring with Ty would just mess up the settings on their keyboards and say, play with these settings. And he's like, no, play with whatever the sound that is. That I just messed it up. Play with that sound. Like, let me see how you make that work. To him in Paris, like change. And I mean, it forced you to think outside the box, though. Mm-hmm. Like, again, the song, the chord changes, the music, but now how will you interpret it with this new sound? Mm-hmm. And I think that's that genius level. Let's go beyond just knowing the song. Which I think knowing the song is underrated already.
Right.
Because some people try to show up with not knowing the song at first. You know what I mean? To me, that's step one. Now you got the song. Now let's explore outside of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What you've played with jazz artists, you've played with Lauryn Hill, and I'm sure many others. I'm sure like Philly scene. I'm sure you play with probably almost everybody there.
Not everybody, but good plethora.
But a good amount. What if you could pinpoint anything, what is the magic? What's the sauce of Philly? Like, why is Philly so special musically? I know it's got a history too, but
I don't know.
You don't know? It's not the
Somebody else
cheesesteaks?
asked me that question, and I'm like, I don't know. It's
don't know
like
what it is.
New York musicians.
Yeah.
Or
New York got their own thing.
Yeah, it's like every city got their own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like what makes them
What
different.
makes it,
and it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
Now, I always applaud, and I talk about this with other people who I've had on here, people who come from a different place. Like, you're from Philly, but I saw you in a residency in New York. And I've seen you playing for artists in New York, New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And not that those are very far away from each other, but they still are not the same.
Right. I think everybody is listening and taking their own approach. Like,
explain that.
Okay, so funk could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But a funk in Ohio has a different hit on it versus coming from Oakland.
Yeah.
Versus coming from New York.
Yeah. Versus
coming from Chicago or Philly, wherever.
Right. The influence.
Everybody has a different,
places,
language that they speak.
I mean, example, rap. You take something like rap.
Mm-hmm.
East Coast had a sound. West Coast had a whole different sound, different influences, everything.
And then you got the South.
Then the South had like, oh, we got something too. Or Midwest, you know,
right?
So that's a perfect example. I mean, just.
Or you go to Europe.
Yeah.
There's definitely a whole different vibe to it.
Yeah, true.
You know,
true.
So it's like, I would say experiences.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Every city, every country has its own experience, and you bring that. Prime example, you know, Fela Kuti.
Mm-hmm.
His biggest influence was James Brown.
Wow.
So if you listen to it, it's like you can hear James Brown in it with African blues.
Wow.
You know, and how their micro beats are shifted around in that funk.
Yeah.
It's still there, but still there.
Yeah.
And then us
different accents and stuff.
Yeah, and us being black, that's in our DNA.
Yeah, we feel that already.
You know.
Yeah. Nah, that makes sense. So what was a, let me think, because we done discussed everything. What is it like being married to a musician? How's that?
Well, as my wife says, I've messed her up with, she can't stand when other string players can't play in time.
Ooh.
Cause I force her. I have forced her in the beginning. Like, she would be mad at me. Play it again. You're not in time. Why are you so behind the beat?
Wow.
And playing with orchestras, having a rhythm section in front of the orchestra, I couldn't figure out, like, why are they so behind the beat? It's innate for classical musicians, because they're waiting for the conductor. Yeah. And it's like 40, 50 of them.
Yeah, a bit of a
and it's a delay.
Yeah.
So I forced her to, like, okay, if you're going to be a solo violinist.
Yeah, you got to lock in.
So, you know, Karen Briggs, I love every time I get the chance to play with her, because she's a classical musician, but her jazz intelligence says, I need to be here with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, being married to a musician, it's always on for me.
Yeah.
I don't turn it off. I don't know how she deals with me. I'll be honest. I don't know how she deals with me, because it's always on. And then we have an almost 10-year-old kid that's the same wavelength as me.
Oh.
And he's always on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'll be in my own world. I'll be honest. I'll be in my own world. I'll be like,
Nah, I hear you.
You know.
I mean, y'all got two different paths musically. Too,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Not too much.
Well, do y'all intersect? Like, do y'all do gigs together?
Every now and then.
Okay.
Every now and then, but because most times I'm gigging when she's gigging.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by separate paths. Like, you have your gigs.
Yeah.
She has her, like, you have a church gig. She got a church gig. You got your band. She has her own band. You know, like, so you guys have things that are like, I don't want to say they're diametrically opposed from each other, but they're different. You know what I'm saying? Different approaches, different repertoire, probably.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's the basis of the music you make? Because you now make your own stuff as an artist. Tell us about you as an artist.
My music is everything I grew up listening to on the radio in Philly.
Okay.
So it's an abyss. You know, management is like, how do you classify yourself? I'm like, funk, soul, R&B, blues, jazz, fusion, gospel, R&B. You know, and it's like, no, you can't be all that. I said, why can't I? It's in me. I mean, yeah, for business purposes, I have to narrow it down.
Right, industry wise, yeah.
You know, but
only because they people want to be able to, like, not people, but like, let's say you in your mind is like, I'm all these things, which is fine.
Yeah.
When you present it though,
they're
like, okay, what catalog do we put it in?
Right.
What section of the record store back in the day, or on Spotify, do we put it with?
Right.
What playlist do we put it on? Because if it don't have a definite, then they like, all right, cool. Then
we don't want to touch them.
We're gonna put it on world music or something, something where we don't classify it the same way. But I think that there's some value to, like, I guess, narrowing it down. I remember back in the day, Tone, the artist, he was a gospel artist, but he put out an album and it had different classifications to it. It was like hip, or I don't know, rap, let's say, and R&B and gospel and stuff. And while I get it, I understand the concept. I just think that sometimes our genius as musicians can overwhelm the consumer that we making music for, because we are making our expression.
Because that's what it was happening before, and the machine, good and bad, wants control. But
I'll push on this, because if you think about. I always have a conversation on my wall at work at where I teach. I have Dr. Dre on one side, and I have Quincy Jones on the other side. And Dr. Dre has a quote about Quincy Jones on his side, and he's basically talking about he was amazed by the fact that Quincy Jones had his biggest hit at 50, and I think that's incredible. Again, an inspiration for students, because it's like, my goal is to get you to love music and to be competent in creating and producing it. It doesn't matter where you go in that. You could be the next Kanye. You could be somebody who's a bedroom producer for yourself. It doesn't matter. Music is an expression at whatever level you want to make it. You know what I'm saying? And I just hope that students will go on and do it, period. You know, I don't care how big you do it.
Right.
I don't want you to have the pressure of having to do it unless that's what you feel like is your calling.
Right.
But that being said, I was thinking about Michael, and I'm like, Michael was an R&B artist. Jackson 5 was an R&B Motown artist. But he's the king of pop.
Right.
Now, we define pop. You could define it as popular. So whatever is the most popular at any time,
it's popular.
Could be pop. Like, it could be rap music that's popular. It could be R&B that's popular. It could be jazz that's popular. Whatever it is. But then there also is this other idea of pop, what they call teeny pop, and the the teeny boppers and stuff like that. So you got these two different pops. Basically, they both are popular though.
Right.
And at some point, a lot of times other genres will dominate pop. Like Beyonce dominates pop when she's out. Taylor Swift dominates pop when she's out, but she started off as a country artist.
Right.
You know,
now they're intersecting with each other.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I'm going to take what you did and you're going to take what I did. But that being said, I think that you can have an eclectic palette as an artist. I just think that it's hard to start there.
Yeah.
You know
I agree. Yeah.
Prince. Look at Prince. He's one of the most eclectic, successful artists we know. Because he was like funk, pop, rock, R&B.
But here's the catch.
He could do them all.
Here's the catch. He made a statement. He said, I'm making music for me.
Right.
Y'all just catch up.
If y'all like it.
If you like it, cool. If you don't,
yeah, but
next.
you're also talking about somebody who had a record deal, could play all the instruments, could really unpack it all the way he heard it, because that's important too.
Right.
Like if you got to rely on other people in that process, there's a challenge in that. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody can help reproduce what's in your head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell me, how is it navigating that? And like that's a challenge. Like what's your goal with that challenge?
I always I can either sing out what I want or I can hack out what I want on keys. Guitar, pray my strength in the Lord. But for guitar parts, I can sing what I want.
Yeah.
Or play.
And you
out.
got a competent guitarist, they can play.
Yeah, I can sing it to the guitarist and be like, okay, I want this. It feels like this.
Yeah.
Or I can sample it.
Yeah, true.
And like,
true. And just say, do this,
you know,
now reinterpret it.
Right. You know, working with Lauryn Hill is like, oh, she had me chopping, sampling stuff every day.
Wow.
For hours. If I wasn't rehearsing or we weren't on stage, back of the bus, I was chopping. So I've developed where I can chop out samples of what I want. This is the idea. This is how it should feel.
Yeah.
And okay, get to going. You know, just being able to communicate with other musicians.
Yeah.
What you're hearing. And then sometimes, especially if you got great musicians, they can bring it to life and make it better.
Yeah. They can add to it. Like, okay, when I play it, I feel this. I hear this. You know.
And I love, it's more tedious. I love when musicians give me more than one or two takes.
Yeah.
So it gives me options to create another sound or idea.
Yeah.
So like my guitar player, I always joke with him, like every time I record with him, he always, at the minimum, 50 takes.
Wow.
And I recorded on live on Facebook. We were recording on the last album, and it was like, oh my God, we had 200.
Wow.
And I had to sit through it, but every take was great. It was something else. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get through this? And people were sitting there counting. And it was like, but once I got it, he heard something else. And was like, wait, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo it. Just because he said, I'm not going to be beat by you chopping up what I did. And what he did after was even, I was like, oh my God, okay, that's it. One take after this.
Yeah.
We're not going, it's just competent musicians that can hear what you're hearing and do that or take it to the next level.
That's tedious, man, because I tell you, I'd be like, where's the best one? I would comp it, like what we do with vocals and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, eventually I'm going to pick one or I'm going to pick something, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's the same concept of when you're comping, finding the best of whatever.
Yeah, there was a story I heard about Quincy on the mixes for Thriller. I forget what record it was, but he was saying like they got up to like 80 something mixes. All for him to say, yeah, go back to number 20 or 19. Like it doesn't, like,
it's tedious.
He knew which one he liked already, but let me see what else you got. Or do it again. Try it again. Let me see how many tries. And again, that's the part. I mean, I had to like remember that, because I remember when I started as a producer, I was in that discovery and take chances and kind of just see what happens. And then as I got more competent as a musician, and be able to just zero in on what I wanted faster, I did less of that exploration. But exploration
There's nothing wrong with exploration.
Oh, no, I think it's important. Like, I honestly, I found myself now in a place where, because you spend a little bit more time in it, because you like kind of bask in it a little bit, you can get deeper into it and you can get more, better results, in my opinion, where you probably won't even see those results. One of my boys saw something from Quincy where he said he let the band practice until they got tired, and he wouldn't record them until they were tired, until it's late in the evening or early in the morning. And now they're tired
because it's natural.
He wanted to get rid of those extra thinking about it.
Just so you're not even thinking about it. Just play.
Yeah.
Just play. And it was like what's natural from the heart. That go
What
back
you say?
to
What you say? What's it?
yeah, what's in your heart? Don't give me what you rehearsed.
Miles Davis, exactly.
Yeah,
and he worked with those jazz cats, so
yeah,
he probably knew that.
Yeah, so it's like the conscious intent.
Yeah.
And again, music, which a lot of times we forget, it's for us, yes, but it's for other people as well.
Yeah.
Where our jobs are to change people's outlook on life.
Yeah.
Whether you're singing or playing, and like we were singing tonight.
Yeah.
And you watching people, I'm getting caught up because of the lyrics and how we sound. That sound, those frequencies.
Yeah.
And them, we were doing our job.
Yeah. It's different outlooks. Like your director has an outlook. You have an outlook from being on the stage, but also being a part of it. And you're in the moment, like what they call the meta moments. Like I'm thinking about it in the moment, like, okay, we here, but we in this moment that we ain't gonna get back.
Right.
You ain't gonna be in this moment again. You know what I'm saying?
And just live in it.
Yeah.
Live in it.
Just bask.
Know what you got to do.
Yeah,
but live in that
be
moment and let that moment carry the music.
Listen, man, I appreciate you being here, bro. Where can they follow? I know you still making music as an artist. Mm-hmm. What's on the horizon and where could they follow you?
Working on a new record now.
What style is it gonna be? No,
it's gonna be what do we discuss? It's a combination between soul and R&B.
Okay, got you.
Which is all the same.
Yeah. But there's still nuance, I guess.
It's at the heart of everything I do is funk.
Yeah.
It's funk and blues.
You like people to dance.
I want people to shake their butts. I want their neck to hurt. I want people to sweat.
Yeah.
What I would see as being 9 times out of 10, I was the youngest person coming up in the band.
Okay.
So I would get to see being in them VFO clubs, be like, oh, okay, party.
Yeah.
Party. We need to get back to the party.
Yeah.
In the music.
I think people always could go to a party and always could experience a party in music. You see some artists going back to those retro sounds like Bruno. He's like, I'm gonna live in retro because it don't die. You know what I'm saying? It always works.
What's old will always become new again.
It always works. And you think about, I still think the 90s was one of the best musical times, just in terms of access, in terms of sonics, in terms of and now it don't touch the 70s in live music,
right?
But as it related to recorded music and CDs and stuff, it was a different sonic, it was a different thing. And as it related to R&B, like urban R&B,
was the best.
That was it, man.
R&B.
That was it. I mean, that's a hot take. I'm sure somebody might dispute it, but
nope.
I don't know.
The best for R&B. I said it.
You see people over and over again.
They're going back to the
90s over and over again. I mean, I love the artists that's out now, and I love the ones that have some originality, more originality than borrow, because everybody gonna borrow. But at least if I can know what your sound is,
then who's your voice? What's your voice?
That gives me something to say. Okay, this is a new thing on the horizon. Versus
again, conscious intention.
Yeah, I love that. So we're gonna adopt that word, conscious intent. And define that for us again.
Huh?
Define that word for us again.
Being purposeful about what you decide to do on the bandstand, or record, or stage.
Yeah. Conscious intent.
Well, bandstand, stage, same thing. But you get what I'm saying.
Nah, I got you, man. But check out James. What's your social media so they can follow you?
Biscuit Rouse on Instagram. You can find me. Just go BISCUIT Rouse, ROUSE at Biscuit Rouse. My website is James Biscuit Rouse. Plain and simple.
Got you.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to hearing some more of your music. And again, seeing you narrow some of it now. You can do all of the stuff you want, bro. But I mean, listen, like I said, you could have an audience for everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the move, man. But again, it was great to see you. Again, another musicianship podcast episode. Subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do, and just make sure that you tune in. Peace. I'm Samar Newsome. That's James Biscuit Rouse.
Me.
We'll see y'all later.
Thank you for watching the Musician's Shed podcast. Connect with us by hitting the subscribe button. Leave us a comment and let us know how we are doing or if you have a subject you want us to cover. See you next time.